So in this lesson, we're going to have a look at the sine double angle formula, which is sine of 2 theta equals 2 sine theta cos theta. So what we're first going to do is have a go at proving this formula. So prove sine of 2 theta is identical to 2 sine theta cos theta using the compound angle formulae. Well, the first thing we're going to do is rewrite sine of 2 theta as sine of theta plus theta. And you might see where this is going, because we're about to use the compound angle formula for sine. So you might want to pause now and have a go at finishing that off. But I'll continue. Equals. So it becomes sine theta cos theta plus cos theta sine theta equals 2 sine theta cos theta as required. So there we've done it. We've proved the sine double angle formula. Now that is a formula that you need to know. You need to remember this formula here, that sine of 2 theta equals 2 sine theta cos theta, because you've got to be able to spot this to simplify it. So learn that formula. So let's have a look at a different type of example. So this next example, express 2 sine x over 2 cos x over 2 in a more compact form. Well, having learnt this formula now, sine of 2 theta equals 2 sine theta cos theta. Notice the similarity. We've got the 2, we've got the sine of something, and we've got the cos of something, that thing being x over 2. Therefore, this must be equal 2 sine of something, cos of something is sine of 2 of that thing. So sine of 2 times x over 2, which is just sine of x. 2 sine x over 2 cos x over 2 is just sine of x, using the reverse of the double angle formula. So here's a proof question we're going to look at now using the double angle formulae, and these always catch students out. For some reason, in my experience, students just don't get the style right of these proofs from the start, so I'm going to show you exactly how to answer these prove that questions. So in a prove that question, we shouldn't write the right hand side out other than at the very end. So what I see students do quite a lot is, they'll do something on this side, then every single line they'll write identical to 1 plus sine of 2x, which is just a waste. It's almost like giving the punchline to a joke away before you've actually told the joke. So this here is the punchline of the whole proof, and we're showing you, telling the story, showing you how you get to that answer, to that punchline. So let's start with the left hand side, as we always do in a proof. So the only thing we can really do with this is to multiply it out. And with these proofs, there's sometimes just a little bit of hit and hope, because it's not always going to be entirely obvious what you have to do. Just do something and hope that it's right. So I'm doing the only thing I can and multiplying the brackets out. So I get cos squared x plus cos x sin x plus cos x sin x again plus sine squared x. So far so good. Equals, when I gather these two terms together, the square trig functions, I get sine squared x plus cos squared x. Then we've got 2 sine x cos x. And I think in a good proof, you always label what you're doing. So here, I know that this one is identical to 1 by the sine squared x plus cos squared x identical to 1. I also know that this, because I've memorized the double angle formula now, which you are expected to do, I know that that is just sine of 2x. So I've explained what I'm doing, equals 1 plus sine of 2x, as we were required to do. Done. So let's move on to a solving an equation question now. And here it is here. Solve the equation sine of 2x plus cos x equals 0, where x lies between 0 and 2 pi. So you have to remember the sine double angle formula to be able to do this. So solve that equation. Well, we know sine of 2x. In fact, you might want to pause it and have a go at it yourself. But as always, here I go. So 2 sine x cos x is sine 2x plus cos x equals 0. So you might be tempted now to divide all terms by cos x. But if you do that, you're making a bold statement that you're 100% certain that cos x equals 0 isn't a solution. If it is a solution, we're dividing by 0. In fact, having a look at this, cos x equals 0 is a solution. So if we divide by cos x, we are dividing by 0. Not allowed. We lose the cos x equals 0 solution if we do that. So the best thing to do, rather than divide by variables in this case, is to factorise. So both terms have a cos x in common. So if we take that out as a factor, like that, let's not forget the implication sign, which in turn implies that cos x equals 0 or sine x equals minus 1/2. Okay, so the inverse cos of 0, and I need to make sure I put it in radians mode. Inverse cos of 0 is 1/2 pi. So there's the cos graph. So 1/2 pi there. So the corresponding one is 3/2 pi. So pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. If I label this graph as well, 0 pi over 2 pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. And we do a, I'll pop that up there. If I do a sine graph now, like that. So inverse sine, the arc sine of minus 1/2 is minus 1/6 pi. So we're going to extend this a little bit. So minus 1/6 pi roughly there. So there's two corresponding solutions. So it's pi plus 1/6 pi and 2 pi minus 1/6 pi. So pi plus 1/6 pi is 7/6 pi. 2 pi minus 1/6 pi is 11/6 pi. And you can verify that on the calculator. So there are all of our answers. Let's make them obvious like that. And we're done. So that there is the double angle formulae. Have a go at the worksheet. Practice, practice, practice.